Hello and welcome back to KraftsbyKatelyn. Today I have this really cute little DIY spring decor sign that I want to share with you all, so make sure you stay tuned to see how I put that together. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already and give this video a big thumbs up. To make this project, you will need any kind of a square sign. I have a ton of Easter signs left over, so I will be using those probably in the next few DIYs. But I just start by removing the jute string hanger, and then I remove the little cottontails, even though I'm using the back of this sign, so that the sign does have a flat back. I get the sign all ready to go, and then I will be using one of these faux wood pieces of paper from Hobby Lobby. This one was 69 cents, but I always get these on sale. I get a ton of questions about these, but I just go to like Hobby Lobby or Michael's and I just stock up on these. As you can see, after I set it on the sign, some of the edges still showed through, so I just wanted to paint them and blend them in to kind of go along with this. I know that they are not going to match perfect, but I still think that it would give it a neat effect. So I am going in with my mineral color chalk paint and just painting about 1.5 inches on the edges, so it has this really pretty beige gray color and it goes along with the wood paper. Whenever my mineral paint had colored on the edges, I'm just laying my paper and then trimming it down to fit to size. To attach the paper to the sign, I'm using some of my Mod Podge in the satin finish. You definitely could use any finish that you wanted to. This is just what they had sent me, so I had on hand. And then I have my little Mod Podge brushes. I get a ton of questions about these as well, so I will try to link as many products as I can down below. When applying the Mod Podge, I try to apply it generously to the edges and the corners so it will stick down really nicely, and then I'm just taking a paper towel to remove excess that is coming off of the edges. And then after I get it all smoothed out and completely where I want it, I'm just taking another thick layer of the Mod Podge and going over this. I love the finish that this puts on the sign. Not only does this protect your paint if you needed to dust or wipe this down after it's finished, but I just love the finish that it gives it. While my Mod Podge was drying, I went and printed off a picture of a truck. I just googled vintage truck, or you could google Christmas truck, and you will get a ton of photos, so you can just choose one. But I'm just going to be using this kind of as a stencil, so I am just cutting it out of there and then going to trace around it with my ink pen. It doesn't show up really well on camera, but I can see where I need to paint. In person, the lines look a lot more clear. I wanted this to be a spring truck, so I'm painting it with this folk art cascade color. I think this is such a beautiful color. It looks like a vintage blue, and it goes along with Farmhouse, yet it is a very bright spring color. And I'm going to follow the lines and just get the overall truck shape. I didn't like the tires in the image that I printed off, so I didn't trace them. I'm just going to use something circular that I have to make my own tires. I love going over my painted things to give it more of a distressed look, but this was really coarse sandpaper, and whenever I went over it, some of the paper was still soft from the Mod Podge. It did try to peel up, so I did patch it with just some of the matching paint, and I just forgot about sanding it. I am using some of my poster stickers from Dollar Tree to spell out the words on here. You definitely could use a Cricut or a silhouette if you have one. I have a Cricut. I just really enjoy showing you all the different ways that you can make this without buying expensive machines, but feel free just to use whatever you do own. And then I'm going to go over this with some of my black paint because I do want the letters black. After the paint had dried, I'm just going to peel the letters up and attach them on the top of the sign. Some of the paint did dry and I had to pull it off of the letters, but then I found out that I had a small pair of scissors, but if you take something sharp and then kind of just trace around each letter, it removes the paint that is sticking to it and lets you just remove your letter. This small little flower pot was the closest thing that I could find to the wheel size I needed. It is a little large for this truck, but it's fine because I do still have to paint a few more details on it, so I was pretty sure that I could make it work. I went ahead and painted them black and just trying to get them as circular as possible. So I should have waited until the tires or the wheels were dry until I did this next part, but I needed to paint the little wheel covers. I think that's what they're called. That's what I'm going to call them. I'm not sure what they're really called. But I mixed some of the black with the original Cascade truck color and just made this in-between color. So like you can see, the black is smudging into it quite a bit. That's okay though. I think in the end it turned out really neat. I went over it with a little bit more of just the blue color after I mixed it really well, and it gives it like this neat little shadow. So mistakes turn into something that you like sometimes, so this actually was a good mistake. And then I'm just taking the little bit that's left on my brush and then just adding some shading and little details to the truck. I mixed up my white paint with a tiny bit of black so I could make a window on the truck, and then I used what I have left over to make the center of the wheels. For the remaining letters, so it says fresh flowers, I'm going to be using a black paint marker. I picked these up from Walmart, just the cheap ones. I think they're actually the Painter's brand. And I'm going to be writing out the word flowers. I added some little lines at the end of each letter to give it a little bit more of a dressier font. And then I'm using some of my Mod Podge to cover the entire thing after it had completely dried. I'm using just some leftover pieces of the spring bouquet florals from Dollar Tree so that my little truck can be hauling some flowers. I thought this really made it cute. You could add any colors that you wanted to. I debated whether I just wanted to add white flowers or even add a little pop of color in there, but I did really think that these flowers are really pretty and do look like pretty spring flowers. So I just arranged them how I like them and hot glued them in the back of the truck. If you wanted this sign to hang up on the wall, you can see where the original holes were, so you could just poke a hole through the front of the paper and then add your piece of jute string or a wire. I wanted this to sit on one of my little entryway tables, so I didn't bother hanging it up, but I think this is the cutest thing ever. I love how it turned out, and I was so excited to share it with you all. I know it is soon going to transition into summer, but I do feel like this is a piece that you could enjoy year-round until you trade it out for your fall or Christmas decor. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a huge thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!